Hi, my name is Leonard Ataoge Kubale. I'm a freelance videographer offering MPhil in Public Health Nutrition at the Community Nutrition Department of the University for Development Studies, Tamale. Declaration. I wish to declare at this point that I was not paid in any way to produce this video, and Spring Ghana is free of any responsibility pertaining to the content provided here nor its application. I further declare that this video is meant for academic purpose only and doubles up as my report for the 6-week field placement mandated for every student undertaking the Masters of Public Health Nutrition program. Format of presentation. The report will be presented in the following format. I'll share with you how I arrive at the topic and also give you a brief introduction of what Spring is all about. I'll state what the problem is and justification for the survey. From there, we'll look at the goal and research questions. I'll then share with you the methodology used. We'll then discuss my findings. I'll also share with you my conclusion, recommendation, and references. Topic. Before I proceed, I would like to share with you my practicum experience. My practicum site was at Spring Ghana, specifically with the Knowledge Management Unit, KMU. I set out to seize any available opportunity to apply epidemiological methods learned in the classroom and also appreciate the challenges associated with them. However, at the time of attachment, Spring Ghana was preparing for its closeout ceremony, and my supervisor, who was the head of the KMU, was tasked to document one success story from each of their 15 operational districts in the Northern and Upper East region. My primary assignment was to assist in the documentation process. The first week was virtual orientation to the unit and the nature of documentation expected. The second week was a design and review of data collection tools we were going to use. We started traveling out and collecting data from the 3rd to the 5th week. The 6th and 7th week were preoccupied with reviewing, editing, and making arrangements for the closeout ceremony itself. My knowledge in computer applications such as CorelDRAW, Adobe Photoshop, and Premiere Pro came in handy. This experience taught me that social behavior change can be used to increase demand for and uptake of service and improve consistent long-term maintenance of behaviors. In this light, I adopted the topic Outcome Evaluation of Spring's Social and Behavioral Change Communication Intervention among 1,000 Days Households in Spring's Operational District in Northern Ghana. Introduction. What is Spring? Spring stands for Strengthening Partnership, Results and Innovations in Nutrition Globally. Spring's project in Ghana is actually a 7-year USAID-funded cooperative agreement that is dedicated to scale up high-impact nutrition practices and policies to improve maternal and child nutrition outcomes. In addition, Spring is also involved in providing state-of-the-art technical support that is focused on preventing stunting, maternal and child anemia in the first 1,000 days. In Ghana, the project links the sector of nutrition, WASH, which stands for Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, agriculture, and then employs social and behavioral change communication approach at all levels. So, what is the problem? Well, since 2014, Spring has worked in 15 districts in the Upper East and Northern region of Ghana. Despite the recent progress in health and nutrition indicators throughout Ghana, regional disparities remain, especially in Northern Ghana. According to the 2014 Ghana Demographic and Health Survey, about 19% of children nationally are stunted. In the northern region, the situation is even more severe, with about 33% of children stunted. Anemia is another significant public health problem for Ghanaian children, with a national childhood anemia rate of about 66%. In the northern region, the prevalence of anemia is about 82% and 74% for that of the Upper East region. To support the government of Ghana, Spring implemented a multi-sectorial program that is focused on training health workers on good infant and young child feeding practices, promoting 4 key WASH behaviors, teaching of good agronomic practices, and finally, using the 1,000-day household as a centerpiece for these multiple interventions. As part of Spring's implementation strategy, an SBCC unit was established with the key tasks to 1. Engage community leaders in nutrition, health promotion and advocacy for the prevention of anemia. 2. Mobilize and strengthen community platforms such as mother-to-mother support groups, community health volunteers, and father-to-father support groups to promote nutrition-specific and nutrition-sensitive behaviors at a community level. 3. Reach community audience with key advocacy messages on WASH, nutrition, aflatoxin control, and anemia prevention and control. 4. Use audiovisual and print media to disseminate key messages for behavior change. Justification. Well, it is obvious that all intervention agencies will want their programs to make a difference within the clients and communities they serve. The first step in this process is to develop a theory of change that describes how the program's outcomes are linked with the intervention. This mostly forms the basis for the development of a well-defined set of objectives or outcomes. At the end of the intervention, there is a need to verify if the set targets were attained. To do this, an outcome evaluation comes across as the most effective methodology. The evaluation will provide us with useful statistics, accountability, and enhanced learning. Perhaps the immediate purpose of this evaluation will be to improve the program or project effectiveness or to inform specific future decisions. Goal. Our goal is to evaluate Spring's social and behavioral change communication intervention among 1,000-day households in Spring Operational District in northern Ghana. Research questions. Our objective is to answer the following questions. How many people reached by the SBCC activities can remember and mention key messages on WASH, nutrition, aflatoxin, and anemia? 2. How many people reached by the SBCC activities can demonstrate a sound understanding of the key messages disseminated on WASH, nutrition, aflatoxin, and anemia? 3. How many people reached by the SBCC activities have adopted and are putting into practice the key messages shared on WASH, nutrition, aflatoxin, and anemia? Methodology. Study population. The study population consists of 405 communities located in 15 districts, that is the Spring Operational Districts. All districts have similar profile in terms of age structure, but level of female literacy, land ownership, and age at first marriage, and other variables are more variable. Sampling and sampling size. Spring SBCC activities were mostly targeting 1,000-day households in the intervention communities. Purposive sampling was used since the task of the KMU was to document one success story from each district. This automatically limited the sample size to 15, one from each district. Data collection methods. Data collected for the documentation process was informed by objective indicators and means of verification. Both quantitative and qualitative data were collected using structured and unstructured questionnaires. Interview method was employed to gather the qualitative data with informats concerned. Key informat sessions were held and recorded on camera. Limitations. The demanding nature of the assigned task coupled with time and resource constraints made it impossible to identify a suitable comparison group and a sample size for the study. Therefore, available baseline data was used. Results and discussion. About 93 of the respondents were able to demonstrate their understanding by mentioning key messages that were shared on WASH. Such a steep learning curve further lends a justification to the method Spring used to impact this knowledge. Even though there was no baseline data to determine the margin of impact, the results are close to the findings of the Monitoring, Evaluation and Technical Support Service, in short, MES, which evaluated Spring's program and reported a 96% for the above variable. In addition, a systemic review conducted by Lamstel et al. 2014 indicated that the use of mass media among other tools in SBCC strategy has the highest potential of impact with regards to maximizing information retention up to 98%. With regards to adoption and practice of knowledge learned, 100% of the respondents were able to show that they have been practicing exclusive breastfeeding as against the baseline of 58%, representing a 42 increment. This observation is higher than what MES reported in their findings. However, this observation corresponds to the finding of Tadell et al. 2016, where they also recorded 40% increment in the adoption and practice of exclusive breastfeeding using SBCC strategy in Ethiopia. Furthermore, 80% of the respondents indicated that they practiced appropriate introduction of complementary feeding as against the baseline of 84%. This finding is higher than what MES reported, but contradicts the finding of Penny et al. 2005 and Golden et al. 2000, who both recorded an increase in appropriate introduction of complementary feeding after using SBCC intervention strategy. However, the findings are in line with a systematic review conducted by Dewey et al. 2008, who discovered similar trends in interventions conducted in Nigeria. They reported that Obatulu 2003 identified inflated results as the main reason for such trends. Again, 20% of the respondents had functional tippy-tap in recommended location as against the baseline of 1.3. This finding is close to what MERS reported and also corresponds with a case study conducted by Biran 2011 in Uganda. Biran reported that awareness of TP-TAP did not necessarily translate into immediate action to obtain one. Lastly, 27% of the respondents had granular storage system that met the standard criteria needed to reduce aflatoxin levels compared to unavailable information at baseline. An absence of baseline data will certainly make it difficult to measure marginal impact. MERS reported a similar figure of 25%. However, a case study conducted by WHO on biocontrol and post-harvest intervention strategies reported a low compliance of farmers to adopt standard storage systems, stating inadequate financial resources to be the main reason. The above findings are immediate outcomes of Spring SBCC unit activities. These outcomes will subsequently improve the margin of impact the program will have on stunting and anemia in Ghana. Before I state my conclusion and share with you my recommendation, it is worth mentioning notable achievement by the SBCC unit. 1. The unit produced a number of IYCF counseling videos for about 1,200 health workers and community health volunteers. 2. The unit also disseminated nutrition advocacy videos for about 1,600 community leaders, providing them with knowledge on stunting and anemia. A radio drama series on nutrition were made available for about 300 mother-to-mother support groups to enable them conduct peer and household education on IYCF. Video shows on WASH for about 60,000 people in 405 communities were conducted. The unit developed supplementary training tools such as photo aids and illustration charts on aflatoxin control and WASH. Last but certainly not the least, the unit also provided support for regional and national SBCC coordination forums. Now to my conclusion. It should be noted that the high achievement reported in the findings were data collected from respondents who were purposefully chosen for Spring's success story and does not reflect the average situation on ground. However, it is worth stating that the high achievement and impact demonstrated through these activities bring to light the fact that the Spring SBCC intervention has been quite successful in tackling the key issues for which it was formed. The Spring project has ended up generating a lot of SBCC materials, and it is my recommendation that the existing governmental agencies and NGOs who have taken a stake in child and maternal health outcomes should make use of them. References. The following are the sources of my literature review. Appreciation. I certainly cannot end this presentation without thanking the following individuals or group of individuals. My first thank goes to Mr. Bassett, who served as my supervisor at Spring. I wish to also thank all the workers at Spring Ghana 2007. I'm also grateful to the Department of Community Nutrition for giving me this platform and opportunity to further my education. It gladdens my heart to be part of the pioneers of the public health nutrition class. I wish to tap my own back for the effort kept in the production of this video. Thank you.